See when the hot seaweed wasn't there yet.
Hello and welcome to your Dad Learns StarCraft 2. This is a ZvZ. In the upper left hand corner we have my honorable Swarm Zerg opponent, Prothor Man. And in the bottom right we have your hero, your champion, your dad, playing Zerg the way that he does. And actually this is me playing it the way that I do. This is I basically felt tired. I felt kind of tired, but I was playing some Zerg vs Zerg, just wound up that way. And I said, alright, I'll try a 13 pool. But instead of ultra dedicated, if it seems like I'm not going to be running them over, I'll do 13 pool into macro and try to kind of keep pressure up while building tech behind it. While hopefully they're not building tech, they're just building units and doing the fight game. And right now, if we look, this is funny, they have units running down around my overlord. I have units running up around their overlord. So we're doing the same thing. And they're making their second base. I was just going to make mine. So we did the same plan. I pull drones and they run away. They don't kill my queen or anything. And my lings actually make it to their base, catch their reinforcements, kill them, and I run straight into their mineral line and just start killing drones. And then they show up and they defend it. But right now they have 9 drones, I have 14. I'm sending some more units around to the side, so if they come in to fight me, I'm just going to throw units in at them. And if I see them move, I'm just going to throw units in at them. And right now, this is just me. I'm making a spore, or not spore, spine crawler and a hatchery, so that I can defend if they do run in. Have a little bit of defense. I saw them run out, so here I go into their mineral line. They have to defend it or commit to trying to kill me on my base before I kill them. So I have reinforcements coming. So we're just doing some Zergling fighting. A little back and forth sparring party with Zerglings. And I set up my other base. And I'm just harassing them. I attack their pool because it forces them to try to attack me now. But they end up with way more Zerglings and I just need to run around. I'm just wasting their time while I try to macro a little bit. So they stop chasing me. So I go to hide these guys to attack again. But they have an overlord there, so I have to run somewhere else to hide. And until then, I'm just making some guys. Gonna throw some guys back on gas. Gonna start my Roach Warren, start some overlords, start my other queen. Well, not started, but the queen's finishing. Start another one after that. And just start my 2 base production going. At this point, it's kind of worked. They have 16 drones. I have 29. They have a bigger army than me. Now it's 22 to 33. They have a bigger army than me, but I've got, what, 2 spine crawlers. I've got some Zerglings. I have some queens, so I can defend if I need to. And if they head out, I'm going to throw these guys into their base. And now I'm making roaches. And I do not believe in my opponent. Nope, they haven't made a roach warren yet. So I move all 3 of my spines to the front of my base, and now I feel in a good defensive spot. They haven't really massed Zerglings and mass attack move Zerglings. I know they have Zerglings, but I don't see anything move out. If I see something move out, I have to start making mass amounts of units. But if I see them move out up here, I should be able to make at least a round of units before they show up. And I'm making my 3rd base right now, and they're making a lair. So they're on 2 bases. I've expanded to 3 without coming under much pressure. And I'm still slightly ahead in drones, but now I'm also slightly ahead in army supply. And I'm just working on my... Oh, the queen finds my overlord. He's probably going to die. But I start making my spire. Making a lair now, I believe. Oh, I'm making a hive right now. Because I want to move up to broodlords. That's my idea. I want to kind of tech up when they might still think we're in the ling phase of the game. Just doing these little attacks. And then when they think we're moving on to medium units, I want to be ready with broodlords. But they kind of have the same idea. They're making a spire, and they're going to make mutalisks out of it. So I'm just trying to keep up my macro. I actually have a lot more supply, overall supply than them. So I could probably attack them right now and be in a great position. I've got 3 times the supply that they have. But I don't know this at the time. I'm making corruptors. And I'm making these corruptors so that I can eventually change them into brood lords and just hopefully hit their base. To do this right, I should have hydralisks also, but instead I have a bunch of roaches, which is fine. It's still some good defense against them. At this point, I see their mutalisks, and I think, oh man, time to make some spore crawlers. So I make 2 spore crawlers at every base. Takes me a second on this one. And that way, if they do decide to attack with their mutalisks, I have more defense than just my queens. And I move my army out, because if they do attack with mutalisks, I want to counterattack and force them to come back, because they didn't have that many. They don't have like 50 mutalisks or anything, they have maybe 10. And now I'm just attacking into them, trying to take them out. And while this fight's happening, I move my corruptors so that I can try to find where they have overlords, because I want to attack their ability to remax their army. And I start trying to take this building out, but then see the overlords and go, hey! And you can see in the upper right hand corner, their supply is going to start dropping, their maximum supply. So I actually managed to destroy enough stuff so they can't build any more army. And I'm making roaches behind this. I have 126 supply, they have 77. I'm making roaches, they're making upgrades because they have to make overlords. Then make zerglings. And I'm just making some army, and I'm getting ready to, gear back up and attack them. I want to take advantage of what I believe is me possibly stopping them from being able to build units for, however long it takes to make an overlord, like 18 seconds. So that's just time for me to get a round of units off and go find them. So I make a round of units, go down to that corner, because I want to try to basically sneak in and attack them if they try to attack me. Or attack their third once to get my economy set up. So they attack me. I make a bunch of hydralisks. And I see it's muted, so I'm like, alright, the hydras would be good, but the spores are holding them off. And at the same time, I used my all army button to attack their base without looking at it. So they sent mutas, but here comes a counterattack. And even though they have 2 2s, and I only have 0 0s because I completely forgot to upgrade during this game, I just have too many. I have way more units than they do. So they can't hold that. They're not going to be able to destroy all my bases with their mutalisks before I destroy all their stuff. Plus, I just got a ton of hydralisks. I think I hatched 18, so that's going to defend my bases just fine. So yeah, I didn't get to go into I got into corruptors, but I didn't get to go into broodlords because they actually teched up, and instead of teching into just roaches, like I was making roaches and some tech behind it because I had a decent economy. Like I said, I could see these 2 bases and this one, so I knew they were on 2 bases. I was on 3. I knew my economy was better, so I could make roaches and try to tech up. They ended up showing that they had mutalisks, and that kind of changed my plan. Corruptors would be fine against their mutalisks. I could at least fight them. Broodlords wouldn't be. Their mutalisks would just kill my broodlords. It might take them a little while, but they'd kill my broodlords and my roaches. So I would have to destroy their, almost their entire base then. So instead, this was already building, so that finished. But I made a hydralisk den, got some hydralisks, put a bunch of spores down, and just tried to keep the pressure up on them, and just tried to keep higher up numbers than they did. And it ended up working out. So, yeah. That was a decent game. I don't think this is like the optimal way that you can play Zerg. I don't even know if it's the optimal way that I would want to be playing Zerg. I think I would much rather keep trying to do the macro thing, keep trying to get better at the fundamentals of the game. But if it feels a little stale, or if, honestly, was at that point, shouldn't have been playing game. I was a little too tired to really feel like I would be on top of my macro. And on top of paying attention to everything. If you're in that kind of mood, doing like a 13 pool into basically a hopeful build. Like, I hope this turns out to be having a better economy and teching up before they do. You know, it can be fun. I don't think it's the way to really get better at the base game and the fundamentals, but hey, I'm playing a game, and you know, I like to have fun while I'm doing that. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, feel free to, you know, comment, share, like, anything you want to do. It's all good. I love hearing from you guys. And until the next video, I've been your dad. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.